Priscilla, maybe she's pregnant? Well, guys, welcome back.
Yes.
It's been probably 3, maybe almost 4 weeks since we've put out a video. And I know, based upon the title, I know what you guys are thinking. Priscilla, maybe she's pregnant? No.
Sorry.
No, that's not it. No. But there is some super exciting, life-changing things happening.
Yes. And that is that I will hopefully be enlisting in the Air Force possibly next year. So there we are. There it is.
And she says hopefully, but it's pretty much a shoo-in. It's pretty much a shoo-in. She's taken the practice ASVAB already.
And I passed the practice. So.
Passed the practice, which is really a big barrier for, of entry for some people. The only other thing that there is to do after taking the actual ASVAB is the medical screening, which, you know, they've referred to her as a unicorn because she has no issues, no medical issues.
Yes.
So it's basically just formalities.
For the most part, just get that stuff done, and then I'll probably just be going in there possibly in January, maybe even a little bit before. That's what my recruiter said. But yeah, we'll see. We will see how that all works out in time.
Exciting.
Yes. So obviously, y'all know that, you know, since we're changing and transitioning into like a military lifestyle now, our channel is definitely going to be changing a little bit. And yeah, we're still trying to do Dave Ramsey. We still hope to have a garden someday still. Depends. So we're still hoping we still have a garden. You know, all of that stuff that we've been showing you, still have that. But since I'm going to be doing whatever job it is in the Air Force, I'm mostly going to be the one working. Dan's going to mostly be the one still working, but also just like doing like house stuff, and you know, it's going to be sort of like reversal, but in the end it'll be worth it. Just everything about what we're doing is going to be so worth it. The benefits, doing this as a legacy for our children, not only financially but like military wise. Since if y'all don't already know, he's a Navy veteran. So having this Air Force mom, like, I don't know, it'll just be really cool to just pass that legacy down to our kids too. And
for sure.
Yeah, so it's a lot, but at the same time, it's going to be so worth it, so awesome. I'm super duper 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 excited to do this. This is something I wanted to do since high school. I actually wanted to join the Army in high school, but that didn't work out because I was scared off and it just wasn't an option kind of for me. So now it's basically an option to join the Air Force. The Air Force has so many cool things, opportunities. It's part of the Space Force, which I didn't know. There's so many different things, and it'll just be so beneficial for our family now and in the future. So
you might be asking yourselves, where did this come from?
Yeah.
So maybe about a week or two, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was feeling a little nostalgic, and I went on YouTube looking for vlogs that maybe some young sailor has about his life in the Navy, and I was like, let me see what's going on with that. So we were watching it, and then Priscilla says, I always wish I joined the Army.
Yeah.
Well, I may have said military. I don't know if you said Army.
No, I said the Army.
Army? Okay.
It was definitely the Army.
And so I looked at her and I'm like, why didn't you? And that's where she told me how she got scared off and stuff. And I'm like, well, what's stopping you now? And what was stopping you?
Basically, like, you know, we only are married for a little over 2 years, and
That's not what she said, though. That's not what you said. What she said was...
what was it that I said?
See, y'all think men don't listen.
What did I say?
You thought you were too old.
Oh yes, that
you were too old.
Yes, I'm going to be 27 soon, and I just thought, you know, the younger you are, like out of high school, maybe latest would be 25. I didn't know it would go.
Believe it or
up.
not, currently the cutoff age for the Air Force is 39.
Yeah.
You can be almost 40 years old. You could have a midlife crisis and join the military. Just saying.
It's crazy. That's why I was like, wow.
So, yeah, so I, being a veteran and someone who's very pro-military, I like to support our veteran groups. I like to support the military. I would be lying if I said I didn't push this a little bit. Because if all that's holding you back is the fact that you think you're too old, and I get the fact that we're still young into our marriage, but being a veteran myself, I don't see that as much of a problem as she does, because we would know how to navigate all that stuff. So I definitely did push it, and I think even Monday or Tuesday, that following Monday or Tuesday, I had you fill out the form to get in contact with a recruiter. And recruiter got back, and yeah, so now she did a bunch of the initial paperwork.
Yep, handing all my documents for him to scan.
This past week, we're actually still waiting to hear back from him because he had to do a credit check. So if you're 25 or older and married,
or single,
they will do a credit check just to make sure that there's nothing too crazy.
Right.
And I full on explained to him that, hey, listen, we have XYZ debt. We're teachers, basically.
Yeah.
We're paraprofessionals, so we don't make a lot of money, so the debt to income ratio might be a little messy.
Yeah.
But we'll see what comes out of that. I don't foresee any issues with that.
Especially since in the beginning he said it was mostly like if you had bills that were owed,
past due,
and we
collections,
are always on point with our bills. We never had. Well, I shouldn't say that. There was 1 or 2 incidents, but we were able to pay them like. Boom.
All our bills are up to date.
Yes.
All our bills are up to date, so we have no issues with that.
Yeah.
So our channel will be changing moving forward. I will probably even change the name of the channel from Our Backyard Homestead to maybe like Our Military Life or something like that, or
something to that extent.
You know, because that will end up being a big part of our life, and you know, it'll still be us. And you know, she brought up doing a garden still, and provided that we are able to do that, because we fully intend to live on base. You may be able to make money by living off base. I'm not even interested in that. I would rather live on base, not have to worry about mortgage, power, water. You know, and,
pretty much. Yeah.
And if they allow us to have gardens with on-base housing, then we'll have gardens. If not, we'll probably have like a planter garden or something like that. Get a bunch of those grow towers or something like that.
Go vertical.
But there are definitely going to be homesteady type things that we fully intend to do. Especially as we learn more about the Air Force and the way the Air Force runs things. Even recently, we found out that, you know what, if the Air Force doesn't need to move you to a different base, they won't move you to a different base. You could be at the same base for like 10 years, which is good, bad. It depends.
Yeah.
Even job selection in the Air Force is way different than what I was accustomed to in the Navy. In the Navy, you came in with this job. This is the job that you were enlisting for. In the Air Force, you select 8 jobs that you qualify for, and you'll find out which one that they give you.
Yeah, or don't. They probably won't in certain instances. So
you'll get one of the jobs out of the 8 that you pick, unless the exception to that is if they're not actually recruiting for those jobs. But we know what jobs they are recruiting for. So out of her list of 8, there's probably only 6 that are actually completely greenlit. So she will definitely get one of those 6. If we're lucky, the one that's in red. And then the one that's in yellow, I think, is a complete no-go, because that was the medical one.
That was in yellow? No, that was in red. I think the one in yellow was the cyber... Transport. Yeah, I think that was in yellow.
So, well, in any case, the job selection is based upon the needs of the Air Force. You get very little say in it,
Pretty much.
Which is fine. It is what it is. But nonetheless, we're super excited. We're maybe a little stressed out because we got a lot of stuff that we got to do.
And a lot of things to figure out.
A lot of things to figure out, because obviously we're going to have to sell our house. Can't really sell our house until we know what school she's going to. Because we need to plan that all out, because I don't want to sell the house too soon or what have you. And get the house ready to sell. But that's all in God's timing.
Pretty
You
much.
know, we're really leaning on the Lord on this, and we really feel that the Lord has led this completely.
Oh yeah, He has definitely confirmed many times
yeah.
that this is definitely the route we should be going.
So that's it, guys. That's summer school really dragged on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we just couldn't bring ourselves to really make a video. Every time I would be like, we should really make a video. I'm like, I really don't feel like it.
Yeah, it was tiresome. And coming into work, it was just so boring.
And with
it's
that
just
heat wave, with the masks and stuff.
It's
and
just tiring.
Man, it just sucked everything out of us. And I was like, I just need a break. And then with this Air Force stuff started happening, we just completely threw ourselves right into it.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we got to make a video about this, but let's get our ducks in a row first and find out more about what's going on.
Yes.
Before we say anything about it to all our lovely viewers.
Yes. Oh, and a fun note too, I'll be going in as an E3, which in the Air Force is an Airman First Class. So, woo! Yep. I'll be going out boot camp with my 2 stripes on the side.
Yeah.
So
it'll be on that side, I think.
Oh yes, on that side, because on this side it's gonna be a backwards U.S. flag. Anyway.
So, yeah, because she has prior college experience.
Yes.
She has at least 45 credits from college, so she goes in as an E3, and I was very surprised, actually.
Yes.
When her recruiter said that she would be getting E3 pay, the pay for an E3, through boot camp.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would come until after boot camp. But that'll be happening in boot camp. In addition, we're very happy to know that while she's in boot camp as well, she'll be collecting what's called basic allowance for housing, which is basically money that the government gives military personnel to pay for their mortgage, to pay for their rent. So while she's in boot camp, she'll be collecting that and the basic pay. So we won't be getting behind on bills or anything. We'll have plenty of money.
Oh yes, and that was just such a blessing to know, because I was worried, like, once I leave to go to boot camp, he's just going to be at the house and he's going to need extra income. So like.
The income was an issue, and that was one of the things that we really wanted to nail down about. And frankly, what we found out after I crunched the numbers, she would actually be making as much money as both our current pays combined. While at boot camp. So
it's crazy. So crazy.
So yeah, we'll be sitting pretty financially, which is great. And one of the things that I intend to do once we get to her final duty station is I'll be taking the Dave Ramsey Financial Master Course training and becoming a financial coach myself, which will be a very good transferable skill set in order to help people who are in situation that we've been in, and by that time we will be debt free.
Yes, definitely.
We'll be debt free by that time, which is fantastic.
Yes.
And probably pretty close to completing our fully funded emergency fund, which would be amazing.
Yes.
And then after that, it's just save.
Pretty much.
And live life.
Yep. And have kids.
And have kids. And that's the other thing. You know, we'll have full medical, full dental, life insurance. So as far as starting the family, it's a great way to go. Because the military life can be the military life, but deployments in the Air Force are way different than deployments in the Navy.
Gosh, yeah.
Her recruiter told us about, he went on a 30-day deployment. I looked at him and said, 30 days? He's like, yeah. And at his first deployment, he said he did a lot of fishing.
Yes.
So even deployments we're not too concerned about because she's not going to be going anywhere where she's in any danger, any real danger. There's danger no matter where you go. We can walk down the street and be in danger of getting shot. You know, it's just the state of the world.
Pretty much, yeah.
Deployments shouldn't be an issue. So. Let me backtrack a little bit. So starting the family right now through her joining the military is a really great way to go because when she does give birth, there will be no bills because it'll all be covered. Right,
which is awesome.
So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Financially, this is an amazing decision to make. So if you're struggling with money and you are somewhat in shape and are under the age of 39, consider joining the military. It's not a bad way to go.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm very pro-military. I'm very pro-veteran. I'm all about that. It's not what people think. And I've talked to quite a few people who, like, even I had a coworker that, when I brought up the idea of overseas duty, getting stationed overseas, this coworker just made this face like, why would you want to go overseas? And I asked her why she made that face. And she's like, I don't know, I'm just, I'm scared it'd be dangerous. And I'm like, why do you think it would be dangerous? And she said, landmines. And I'm like, there's not going to be landmines in downtown Italy. Like, that's not how it works, She's not going to be landmines in Spain. There might be landmines in certain desert areas in a combat zone, but that's not where she's going.
Yes. And that's the thing. Like, there are a lot of misconceptions about the military. Definitely. A lot. And I hope, too, like, during this, this channel and everything and what we're going to do, like, I definitely want to keep record of, like, my deployments and all that stuff, how, like, what each thing is, because it really, truly depends on what your job is. It really does. The only time, possibly, if I have to, like, go to somewhere dangerous, I guess, is if we have, like, an ultimate war or something, right? Like, something like all hands down, like, something crazy.
I mean, yeah, I think you're talking, like, World War type situation, and but I think where we're at today, I don't see a full-scale world war, only because everybody's got nukes.
Oh, yeah.
We are more likely to commit a complete worldwide devastation through our nuclear arms than we are to have a full-out world war. There will only be skirmishes.
Lots of misconceptions, but so I hope, though, that I can just, like, talk to y'all about just, what the military really is all about. It's not just us going to war and it's just a lot more to it. Like, for instance, this one job, if you're, air transport, if you think of air transport, you think of, okay, you're going to be flying in a plane and then you're going to, drop bombs or, just do whatever. But sometimes what they do is stock things like supplies and stuff for other countries. You can visit another country just to help them with, like, send out some food or something if they're
literally
natural disaster.
You're literally loading and unloading the planes.
Yeah.
That's your job. The one that I would choose if I could go in would be vehicle operation.
Yeah, he was
Vehicle
drive.
Literally, you operate vehicles. You are driving people to and fro. You're driving stuff to and fro. That's what you do. You operate vehicles. Like, you're not going on convoys. You're doing stuff within the base. One of the other ones that we've been looking at was vehicle maintenance.
Yeah, vehicle maintenance.
So you're a mechanic. You're a
Pretty
mechanic.
much.
Guess what? You're not going out into the field. You're going to be in a garage, safe on base, fixing
stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Now I get if you're like vehicle maintenance and you look at her and you're like, really? But you know what? If that's what they're hiring for, that's what they're hiring for. And I keep and I keep telling her, you might like it. You don't know. You might like it. And if the Air Force doesn't work out, and that's a big if, it's a very good skill to have when you leave into the civilian world, because you can walk into any shop. So I guess long-term goals, we haven't discussed that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
where do we start?
Long-term goals, what we've discussed, and so we're going to take it one enlistment at a time. We're going to take it one enlistment at a time, but we also want to have our eye on the long-term goals for her as far as making it a career.
Yeah.
And down the road, what we want to do, we both want to finish our degrees, and her certainly to get the bachelor's degree.
Yes.
To then go officer.
Yes. Yeah, because in order to become an officer, you need a bachelor's degree, and then I can just rank up from there.
And then, it's you got to put in your package to go officer,
right.
And it's got to get accepted. Just because you check all the check boxes off doesn't mean that they'll say, okay, we'll make you an officer. You got to get accepted into that.
Interviews, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So that's where we hope to go, because definitely that would be a good way to go, not only financially but also retirement wise. Your pension is based upon your last 36 months of pay, so pension wise that would be a huge boost.
Yes.
It's a different set of responsibilities.
Yeah, from transitioning from being enlisted, which is basically like just the trainee, and then being like a staff sergeant and technical sergeant, all that stuff, to becoming an officer where you're above all of them.
It's like being a supervisor. You're the supervisor.
That part's going to be a little challenging for me a little bit. But I hope to grow and overcome in that.
She says that, but she hasn't been through boot camp yet, and I think boot camp will bring her out of her shell a bit. I think, and I haven't touched on this yet. I think this is going to be great for her as a person, because it'll break her out of her shell. It'll give her a greater insight as to just what she is actually capable of, not what she thinks she's capable of. It'll give her that voice a bit more. Give her a bit more of a voice. I can't wait to see the kind of person that comes back to me.
Aww. That was so sweet. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I really hope too. Like, I feel like it's gonna make me into a better woman, and to really finally have that confidence.
A stronger woman.
Yes. Yeah, definitely a stronger woman, and have that confidence that I feel like I've been missing. I mean, I have confidence in the Lord, but for myself, like, I don't. I just don't.
I mean, she's a woman of strong character, but yeah, she. If I'm being honest, you lack self-esteem, you lack confidence, and I think that's something that the military will give you. And so yeah, I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
So pray on this, guys. We really need your prayers, because the other thing is, we know she's not going to go into boot camp until more than likely early next year.
Yes.
And we are hoping by then this COVID stuff is over with.
Yes.
Because right now, Air Force BMT graduates, everything is streamed, and you can't have any visitors.
Yes, we watched one on YouTube, and it's just so like...
It's so different. It's so different. They're not in their dress blues. They're in their OCPs. And you can't go see them. Which means that she'll be at boot camp for 7 weeks, and then she'll transition right into her tech school.
Yeah.
Which could be anywhere from 8 weeks to like 52.
Yeah,
52
to a
weeks.
year. Yeah,
to a year. So I mean, it's like 4 months away without ever having the ability to see her, which. You know, it is what it is. It's the military life, and I'm more than capable of dealing with that. But to not have that opportunity to see her because of what's going on in the world right now is just kind of lousy.
It sucks. Yeah.
So yeah, we ask that you guys pray for that and pray for this transition, and we hope that you guys follow along. You know, like I said, we're trying to do as much homesteady stuff as we can. And like, we'll probably still keep making our own soap and things like that. But stick around. This will be fun. It'll be exciting. And I mean, it's still us.
Yes, definitely still us.
And if you're only here for the gardening and not for us, well, okay, I guess you can kick rocks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The horror. I love him. But that's basically our big news and basically what's going to be happening in our life and on our channel. So yes, definitely stay tuned for all that, and we hope that you stay with us and be with us during this journey. But yeah, so I guess we covered everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So guys, keep watching. God bless.
And still keep growing.
Growing.
Bye.
Guess what, honey?
What?
They reached the end of the video.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you guys, you can subscribe to our channel up here.
Or you can check out our latest video right here.
And don't forget to like,
comment,
subscribe,
and share.
And as always, keep growing. Bye.